Day 4, May 2014. Ferrybridge to Ferrybridge, the Portland Loop. It was a dull, cloudy day in May when I tackled the next section of the southwest coast path, the Portland Loop. This is the only section where after a day's walking I ended up right back where I'd started. The weather so often affects perceptions of place, and on this grey day Portland seemed to me an oppressive and unwelcoming island, tied to Weymouth but very distinct from it. I couldn't put my finger on exactly why. It has so much potential, a seaside location with glorious views over to Weymouth and along the length of Chesil Beach or out into the wide blue of the English Channel. And yet the gloominess is palpable and I am in no hurry to revisit. After parking the car in the Ferrybridge Inn car park, I began walking along Chesil Bank. A carpet of spring flowers was bursting from beneath the pebbled ridge. I attempted to take a photograph as I didn't know what they were and I wanted to look them up later. But the leaden sky seemed to mute their potential glory and I realised I wasn't witnessing them at their best. Unfortunately, trying to walk over the loose pebbles was very hard and it was difficult to make progress as the shingle shifted under the weight of each step. After 10 minutes of slow, laborious movement, I realised that I would need to head down to the firmer ground of the tarmac pavement, so I ended up crossing the isthmus by walking alongside the road. With cars hurtling by, it made for an unpleasant trek over to Portland, and it was perhaps this that coloured my first impression of the area. I chose to keep the sea to my left, as with the rest of my journey, and therefore I walked around the island in a clockwise direction. My 14-mile route took me through a housing estate, past the razor wire fence of the Young Offenders Institution and out to Portland Bill Lighthouse. I then turned and followed the west side of the island, past more grim looking housing, through the quarries of Portland Stone and down to Fortuneswell, before retracing my steps back along the road to Ferrybridge. Why did an area of obvious natural beauty feel like the worst sink estate in the west? Was it the battleship grey of the ubiquitous stone reflecting the overcast sky? Was it the naval past? Or the long history as a place of imprisonment that imbued the atmosphere with dark forebodings? Was it just me? Either way, I felt relieved when I was back in the car and driving home.